goes down under the challenge by Kyrie Shelton, and that's going to be his second booking on the night.
Welcome to Instant Replay for MLS Match Day 19. I'm your host, Andrew Wiebe, and as always, we're taking a closer look at the most controversial refereeing decisions in Major League Soccer. Start with a little bit of midweek action. New York City hosting Atlanta, 13 minutes in. Jamal Tiare is in the box, and Tiare is going down under pressure from New York goalkeeper Tomas Romero. Now, Sergei Boyko, the referee, says no foul on the field, but Jose Carlos Rivero sees what we see when we take a Zapruder to these replays. Look, there's a very slight touch to the back right leg of Tiare, the plant foot, as Tomas Romero slides in. It's his left leg that creates the contact. You can see how that moves Tiare's foot, let's call it displacement, and that's when Tiare goes down. Now, Boyko goes and takes a look at this one at the monitor, and he comes back and says, no penalty. For me, it's a fair challenge between the goalkeeper and the attacker. And I'm just guessing here, but perhaps that's because Boyko is saying that Romero got a touch to the ball. Personally, I don't see clear and obvious evidence that the ball was touched by Romero, even though it is definitely a possibility. But even if there was a touch, for me, Tiare is still in control of the ball, and the slide is careless and clearly takes out his plant foot. For me, I would have liked to see penalty here. I think it was a foul. I want to shout out a good decision by an AR in this game. 37th minute, Atlanta United think that they have a goal. Derek Williams heads it across and Tiare finishes. Only if you look down that line, when Williams heads the ball, Tiare is in an offside position. Well done to the AR. Good call here. No goal. Portland, San Jose, Ian Harkes is in trouble because he's on a yellow and he's getting a second yellow from referee Victor Rivas. The challenge is kind of like a 30-70 with Diego Chara. Harkes is not getting there. I think he's trying to block the clearance initially. But as he comes through, you can see knee-to-knee contact on Chara. Chara goes down, Rivas shows the yellow, and Harkes is in disbelief, and so is Bruce Arena, and I can kind of see why. I'm with Jamie Watson, the color commentator here. I do not have a yellow card. Harkes pulls out of the challenge, pulls his leg down. And I can see how Rivas might say, okay, so he's still late, his momentum takes him into Chara, and there's knee-to-knee, so that qualifies as reckless. But remember, the definition of a reckless challenge is that you have to act with disregard to the danger to or consequences for an opponent. For me, if Harkes was doing that, he would not have pulled out. He would not have lowered his leg. So for me, it's definitely a foul, but it's not reckless, it's careless. And that would make it a foul only and no yellow card. I think Harkes should have stayed on the field. All right, we already gave the ARs some props, and let's keep that rolling. Another one from Portland, San Jose. 90th minute here, Kevin Kelsey thinks he has a goal, but offside flag goes up, and based on the lines on the field, it looks to me like the AR pegged this one. Offside by a step, maybe a step and a half on Kelsey. Same story in the Austin Red Bulls game, 73rd minute. Owen Wolff thinks he has a goal, but rewind it back. Look where Brandon Vasquez is when this ball is played in behind. Noah Isla, a moment expertly pointed out by Ross Smith, reads it right, holds his line, and the AR spots the offside. Flag goes up. Well done all around. And again, in Columbus, Vancouver, 58th minute, another goal disallowed for offside. Watch the top of your screen. The final defender sees this happening, holds up, and Mo Farsi is in an offside position. You can see him, remember, an outside back tucking in to basically play the 9. The crew are so awesome to watch. Windmilling and trying to hold himself back in the run, but in the end, it is just offside. Now that AR in Columbus, Vancouver was busy because in the 75th minute, another goal was disallowed for offside. And I felt very confident about the last 3, but this decision, not quite as much. What I will say, as we try to make a conclusive decision off an angle that doesn't give us certainty, is that the AR is in perfect position, looking straight down the line. In those situations, when I'm waffling, I'm not quite sure, but the AR's flag goes up, and remember, it only does when they are sure it is offside. I think you gotta trust their judgment. They're the only ones with the best angle on the field, and there is no evidence in this case to show the AR got this one wrong. And just 5 minutes later, he's called into action again. Back to the good call. Evidence supports the AR on this one. I see him off. Well done. Put the flag up. And well done to Jorge Gonzalez, the VAR in the Minnesota-San Diego game. 63rd minute. Marcanic, the Minnesota defender, is defending, except he's defending with the wrong body part. Watch his left hand go up. Look how the ball ripples that left hand. That's where the contact occurs. Rubio Vasquez on the field doesn't see it in the moment. I can understand that. Marcanic fakes like it's his head, it happened quickly, etc. But that's what video review is here for. Vasquez goes to the monitor, points to the spot, and look, Marcanic's reaction in the moment, trying to fake to the head, and then after review, not complaining, tells you everything you need to know. That's a handball. Now here's an offside decision that was called on the field but reversed. RSL DC, 77th minute. Gozo times his run, and yeah, then the flag goes up, except my first impression was, dude is onside. Just look at the back foot placement of the DC defender, Schnegg. Yeah, live, I want that flag staying down, but I acknowledge it's difficult in the moment for the AR to track the back foot as well as the moment the pass is played. So in the end, this is why you have video review. Fotis Bazakos, the VAR spots it, says that's onside. John Freeman goes to the monitor, agrees, and the goal stands. Well done all around. Boy, offside is a theme, because same game, 88th minute, RSL trying to pile on, and the goal stands initially, but Bazakos flags it, and you can see why once you see the smoking gun angle right down the center of the field. Piol is offside. He's very clearly offside. But again, as the defender is pushing one way and Piol is going the other way, and you've got to track the timing of the pass, it's difficult for ARs. This is why video review exists, and they get this one right. Good job. 2 more plays to go. Sporting Kansas City, Dallas. 56th minute. Does Lucho Acosta get fouled here by Jansen Miller? Boy, I got to tell you, looks like a penalty, does not equal penalty. For me, Lucho pulls a fast one. He knows he is not getting to this ball. His touch is just a little long and Kyrie Shelton is there. Jansen Miller just does him a favor by sticking the leg out late. Lucho sees it, goes down. For me, I don't see contact. The issue is, for Daniel Radford, the VAR, I also don't see definitive proof of no contact. Like it would have to be, hey, this is blindingly obvious, there's daylight, definite none. There might be a brush here, and if there is, I don't think Radford could get involved. Sergei Dimachuk, the referee, called it on the field, and I understand why. But in the universe of justice, I would like to see this not be a penalty. Last one here. How about a second yellow equals red, this time for Shelton, 61st minute. And no, I see what the Sporting KC fans and bench sees as well, which is that Shelton doesn't actually get contact on Pedrinho here. But I agree with color commentator Devin Kerr on this one. It is not the contact, it is the nature of the challenge from Shelton. The pace, the force, the fact that he leaves his feet, and the exposure of his studs that justify the yellow. Remember how I defined a reckless challenge? Acting in disregard to the safety of your opponent? Well, I think that's what this is. It's reckless. Just because Pedrinho evades the challenge and prevents a big-time collision and perhaps his own injury doesn't mean it's not a foul and a yellow. Shelton is not excused for his behavior. Consider the difference in intent on this one with Harks and how Harks pulled out. There's none of that here. Just a rash decision from Shelton, and I'm okay with the second yellow by Dimachuk. All right, that's it for us in Matchday 19. Remember, if you see something, say something, and oh my gosh, please give me the time code and the game. It just is so helpful as we gather plays from every single match day. Big thanks to my editor, Aldo Medina, my producer, Rich Hernandez. I'm Andrew Wiebe. I hope my voice is back for the next one. We'll see you next time.